But the who would win of the week this week? Okay, the who would win of the week this week is Jeff Winger from Community versus Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I really like this matchup.
It's a good matchup. Go ahead.
I think they're very similar personalities. Narcissist.
Big time. Big time.
I don't know if sociopath is
sociopath at the minimum for Dennis Reynolds. Dennis Reynolds is a sociopath. Jeff Winger, I think he
toes the line.
He does toe the line, but the big thing we see from him in Community is that he does have a conscience, and there is something in him that when faced with the decision, when he weighs things out, a lot of times he'll choose the right thing. Dennis Reynolds has none of that.
Well, see, that's where I was going with this. Jeff Winger, the reason he ends up at Community is because he has the thing with his degree or whatever.
Yep.
Kind of coasts his way through life, big shot lawyer, yada, yada, yada. He merely adapted the dark. Dennis Reynolds was born into it.
Oh, yeah.
With Frank Reynolds, his father, with just the whole crew, the bar, everything.
A lot of mental illness in that family.
Born into the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
You're right about the conscious thing, but I think it's so hard because both of these guys don't like to get their hands dirty. They like to have other people do it for them. True. Their play is always to
manipulate. They're both expert manipulators.
Manipulate people into doing their dirty work for them.
Both
exactly.
Both expert manipulators. That's for sure.
But I do think at the end of the day, it's tough. I think maybe Dennis is more likely to actually do it if he absolutely had to, whereas I think Jeff would just punt on the whole thing, be like, "Fuck it."
Well,
but I'm not fully convinced on what I just said.
Sure,
that's just where I'm leaning.
No, I hear you. Something to consider here. Dennis certainly considers himself to be a very smart guy.
Yes.
And I'm not saying he's not necessarily.
He's not.
But he isn't. And you can see that he thinks he's so much better than everybody around him, but he's right there with them.
If not
below them. And Jeff was able to fake his way into a high-powered law job. Jeff did have a literal drive to get out of the situation that he was born into.
Yeah.
And Dennis, of course, seems to preach that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, he's just a bum. He's just a psychotic bum.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right because, again.
But I don't. But bums fight. Bums
here's
fight.
Here's the thing. Dennis Reynolds. All right, I'm starting to my brain's starting to work this out.
Okay.
Dennis Reynolds thinks he's a master manipulator, but I don't think he is because he's not as smart as he thinks he is.
Right.
And whereas Jeff Winger, although still not as smart as he thinks he is a much better manipulator, which is why he was able to succeed that way. I think that at first they would both be very buddy to each other, with both of them thinking that they were going to be able to manipulate the other. But I think ultimately, I do think Jeff would puppeteer the shit out of Dennis Reynolds, and I think Dennis Reynolds would still think that he was the puppet master.
Completely. God.
Yeah.
The perfect plan. And it's also, I mean, when you think about Dennis, his whole life is in this little bubble of the bar. And, yeah, he's manipulating, but the people he's manipulating are
not smart people either.
They're not the smartest people.
No.
Jeff, any social tier, he's like bing, bang, boom.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if we are still talking about just like the straight-up physicality of this fight, both of them are definitely in shape guys, but Joel McHale, Jeff Winger body, college football player, he's pummeling this motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's pummeling him.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
agree.
this is such an interesting one because usually I'd side with the psychopath for this
Yeah,
fight.
because he was born in the dark.
Because he was born in the darkness.
But I agree.
But at the end of the day, Batman beats Bane.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? Batman
Yeah.
beats Bane.
Yeah.
Batman beats
This
Bane.
is actually a Batman. This is very Batman v.
This is
Bane.
very Batman v Bane. This is
Yeah.
kind of a Batman v
This is a
Bane
Batman
situation.
v. Bane situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm taking Jeff Winger.
Lock
Clean
it.
and easy,
Lock
Andy.
it. Another win for the Greendale human beings.
Yeah. Vote on that on Instagram on Friday. Jeff Winger from Community versus Dennis Reynolds from It's Always Sunny. Vote on that on Instagram on Friday. Who would win of the week? Andy, starting off to a good foot, coming home. We go 2-0 clean sweep on the Who would win of the week.
Pew, pew, pew.